If you are trying to start a business in 2026 and make well over $10,000 a month, this video will save you months, even probably years of wasting time on the wrong business models. Now, some of these business models I'm going to show are straight up S tier. They're great, and some of them are total traps that 99% of beginners should absolutely avoid. Now, if you're new here, my name is Joe Dooley. I'm currently 25 years old. At the age of 21, I was broke. Like, my card literally declined at Cookout, buying a $7 meal. If you're from the South, if you know, Cookout's pretty cheap, so this is pretty crazy. I started an SMA, lost my agency, tried to force a couple online businesses that just weren't working, and I was bouncing between a couple jobs. Fast forward to now, I run multiple home service companies, coach dozens of young entrepreneurs, and consistently help beginners hit those 10K months and well beyond without needing any sort of crazy following, crazy skills, or massive startup capital. I've tried almost every single business model on this tier list myself. I failed at some, won big on others, and again, helped dozens of people figure out what's best for them. So this isn't just theory, this is real data. The biggest mistake I've seen in my 6 years of entrepreneurship, and again, after coaching dozens of people on starting their own businesses, is they are choosing the wrong business model, not the wrong niche, not the wrong strategies, again, the wrong model. So today, I'm ranking 11 of the most popular beginner-friendly business models from S tier to F tier based on how good they actually are for someone starting from scratch with little money. And just so you have full clarity, here is a breakdown of the tier list itself. So S tier is calling it guaranteed momentum. Okay, these are the best of the best, super beginner-friendly, high income potential, low risk, fast results, and extremely scalable. These models will give you the highest probability of hitting $10,000 a month fast. Okay. Then we have A tier, which is a strong choice. You know, they're good, but they're not great. They're still good models, but they either require a little bit more skill, more time, or they need a little bit lower competition. Amazing option if the S tier models don't fit your personality. Moving to B tier is good, but not life-changing results for most beginners. Okay. You can succeed, but the path is usually a little bit longer and harder, and usually these require marketing skills or having an audience or just slower cash flow. Okay. Then we have C tier, which is high risk, low reward for beginners. These models can make you money, but most beginners burn out because the learning curve is very high or the failure rate is insane. Then we have F tier, which is just don't do these as a beginner. Okay. These are extremely saturated, very competitive, and pretty unrealistic for most beginners. Not necessarily these businesses don't work, because you can make money doing just about anything. But again, this is for beginners wanting to start a business going into 2026. So do keep that in mind. Now, I'll be judging every business model on 5 different things. The first is startup costs. Can a kid with $500 to $1,000 actually start this business? The second thing is time to your first dollar. How quickly can you make money? Is it going to take you days, months, or years? Skill requirement for number 3, can a total beginner succeed at this business model? The fourth is competition and saturation. Are you fighting against 10 people or are you fighting against 10,000? And the fifth is scalability. Can you get it to $10,000 months consistently and well beyond that? So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the list. All right, let's dive straight into it. So starting off with AI agencies. All right. So again, let's go back to the 5 things we're breaking down here. Number 1, startup costs. Can someone with very low capital start this? Yes, they can. Okay. Time to first dollar. This is where things get a little interesting. This is a highly, highly competitive niche. You've probably seen this everywhere, all over YouTube. So whenever you see someone talk about something a lot, it's going to be competitive. Okay. So because of that, the time to first dollar, it's probably going to take you months. 1 month to 3 months is what I would assume. Okay. Skill requirement. This is another drawback of this business. You have to know AI. One of the reasons I do like this business is actually because of that, because AI is the future. It is the internet back in the early 2000s. Those people who learn it, who capitalize on it, and see its potential to make money will do very, very well in their lives. Okay. Competition saturation. Again, like I said earlier, this is a highly competitive niche, so you're going to have to be on your A game. And scalability, can you scale this? Yes, you can. If you offer a good service and people like you, you can absolutely scale this, okay? I am going to put this one in the A tier, okay? I really like this one because and my favorite thing about it is it forces you to learn AI. If you're a young person, your teens or early 20s, you should absolutely be focusing on learning AI, learning how to implement it, in other people's companies and for yourself to make you and your clients more money. Again, the biggest drawbacks here are going to be the time to make your first dollar and the saturation. I think that's the number one problem with AI agencies is that it's highly saturated right now, and the industry is always evolving. So you're going to have to constantly be learning, constantly thinking about new ways to implement new tools and all that good stuff. But overall, if you are a beginner, I think you cannot go wrong with the AI agency. Next up is going to be coaching. And a lot of people are going to have a lot of different opinions on this, okay? Coaching, the info space has a pretty bad reputation, unfortunately, because there are a lot of scumbags. Let's just say it how it is. There are a ton of people who go into coaching as their first business model. They don't have any real skills. They see guys online make a ton of money with their fitness coaching offer or their business coaching offer, whatever exactly it is that they're coaching you on. That's all they see. Okay. This is a business that I am currently in myself. I will let you know as we go on which of these I've done. I have not done AI agencies. I just see it all over the place. I think it's like SMA back in 2017. Okay. Coaching startup cost, super low. They're almost zero. If you are willing to get behind the camera and share what it is that you want to coach people on with the world, that's all you really need. So all you really need for startup costs is a cell phone, which each and every one of you has that's watching this video. The second is time to first dollar. You can make money really, really fast in this, okay? For me, when I started my consulting business, started making money within like the first couple months. So similar to the AI agency, probably 1 to 3 months for most people. Skill requirement. Okay, this is the number one thing. Coaching has such a bad rap because there are so many people that actually don't have a skill. Their skill is just selling you on an idea, okay? Which is a good skill. It's persuasion, it's sales. But most people don't have that, okay? Competition and saturation. This is a highly saturated, very competitive niche. It depends on what exactly it is you're coaching. So like fitness coaching, for example, good luck. I wish you the best. There are a trillion fitness coaches out there. Very hard niche to break into within coaching. But it just, again, completely depends on kind of where you are. Scalability. You can scale the hell out of a coaching business pretty easily, okay? It's great. Now, if this were just a general tier list, I would put coaching in A, okay? But again, this is a beginner list. Which of these should you do as your first, second, or third business? I'm going to put this in C, okay? If you are not a beginner and you've been doing it for a while and you have a skill that people could actually benefit learning from in whatever way, whether that's their physical, mental, financial health, then this is probably A or S, okay? If it were me personally, this is going in S, but again, it's beginner. So coaching, I wouldn't do it if you're a beginner, because if you're a beginner, you don't really have a lot of skills, okay? You don't have you can't really provide value to people by coaching them on a specific skill that you don't have, okay? Now, if you are highly skilled at something, whatever it is, and you want to create a business off of it, again, this is probably going to be here or here, but I'm talking to most beginners. All right, next up, drop shipping, just immediate F. This business model sucks. It's not even a real business. Drop shipping is a fulfillment method, okay? You are a middleman. You don't have a business. It's a waste of time, okay? It's a fulfillment method, guys. If you are doing drop shipping going into 2026, you are setting yourself up for failure. I hate this business model. It ain't it, okay? Startup costs are going to be a little high. It just depends on the product itself. You need to invest into a good website. You need to invest into Facebook ads. And with the current landscape, you have to put a lot of money into both. So no. Time to first dollar, this is absolutely terrible. For most people, they're never going to make a single dollar drop shipping. For most of you, it's going to take 6 months to a year if this is the business model you choose. Skill requirement, you actually really don't need a lot of skill here. You just need to know how to run decent Facebook ads. If you're going to do it yourself, build a decent website and be decent at picking your product. That's the best thing about it, is you don't need as much skill to do it. Competition saturation, it's terrible. You are fighting against millions of people online, probably a lot of those people selling the same product as you. And scalability, it is not a real business, so there's nothing to scale, okay? I hate this business model personally. I tried this back in my early days, didn't make a single dollar with it. I think it's a complete waste of time. Next up is e-commerce, okay? E-commerce, this is a broad term, obviously. I'm thinking, when I say this, I think starting a clothing brand or we can even rope in Amazon FBA to this. Selling anything online that isn't okay. So let me just make a clear distinction between the two. Drop shipping is you are a middleman. Okay, you are finding some product in Alibaba, AliExpress, and you are just making a website on it, and then you're running Facebook ads, and then again you are just selling the product at an increased price, and you're ordering it through Alibaba or AliExpress and shipping it to the person who buys it. E-commerce is typically you get the product. It's your product, whether it's clothes that you're designing and you're working with a manufacturer to get that done, or it's something you're just getting a lot of inventory shipped to a warehouse or your personal home. That's what e-commerce is, okay? Startup costs are going to be high because with this, you're buying the product first before you're shipping it. Time to first dollar, this depends, okay? If you have a big following, you have a brand, you're going to kill it with e-commerce. I mean, how many influencers do you guys specifically know? Let's talk about fitness because that's a niche I used to be pretty heavily involved in. I follow a lot of fitness creators. How many people do you see start, a brand and then a couple months later they got 20, 30,000 followers and then they start their own clothing brand? Most of those guys do pretty well because they already have a pre-existing audience. If you do not have that, no one knows who you are, you don't have any sort of following online, it's going to take you a long time to make your first dollar with this. Skill requirement. It's a little bit higher than drop shipping because if you're going to order all this stuff and have it shipped to your house and you're running a business, the skill requirement is a little bit higher than it is for drop shipping because then there's no employees. It's not a business again. This is a business. Competition saturation, probably the worst thing about e-commerce is it's probably one of the highest competitive niches on this list. Not great. Scalability, it's okay. It all really depends on where you want to take your brand and your vision for it. Really, the only thing you can scale up is production. Maybe you have some customer service employees, and then you're going to be scaling up, with a warehouse or whatever. So I'm going to put this one in the C tier. Not a fan. Don't love it. I don't think most of you should get in this unless you have a following, okay? Next up is going to be high ticket sales. All right. This is another one that I have personally done. I actually really like high ticket sales. A lot of you probably, well, that's not even a business. It's not. You are part of someone else's company, but I wanted to throw it on here because of how popular it is. Like I said, I'm a pretty big fan of this one, okay? Startup cost is $0, all right? You don't have to, all you need is a computer and an internet connection to get started with high ticket sales. Time to your first dollar can be incredibly fast. If you already have a good sales skill set and you get on the right offer, you can join an offer today and make your first $1,000 tomorrow. Most of you, again, this is beginner focused, probably don't have sales skills yet. So there you go. It's going to take you a little longer. Skill requirement, you have to be good at sales. Now, what I like about high ticket sales is you can break into the industry pretty easily. Now, if you don't have any experience, you're probably going to be starting off as an appointment setter on somebody's offer. Your job is going to be calling new leads that come into their sales pipeline. Okay. This looks different for every business, but every business needs an appointment setter that has leads coming through the door. Okay. The business owner cannot spend time calling leads. It's a super important activity, but it's something that we want to delegate as fast as possible. So if you don't have any skills, you'll start off as an appointment setter, do that for a couple months, and eventually work your way up to closer, which is where you want to be. The commission's higher, and you're talking to, ideally, pre-qualified leads that your appointment setter has already qualified for you. Competition saturation. The only thing you're really competing against is other salespeople. So you want to be the best, right? You have complete control over how good you are. You can invest in your skill set. You can read books. You can join coaching programs on getting better at sales. There's so many different ways you can get better at sales. So this is actually pretty good. And scalability. Can you scale it? This isn't really relevant to this because if you're a closer, not the business owner, there's really nothing to scale. I'm going to place high ticket sales in the B tier. Okay. Because number one, it isn't a business. You're working for somebody else's business. But again, I wanted to include it because of how popular it is. I'm a big fan of this one. I've done it personally. If you like sales, you think you'd be good at sales, and maybe you want to work in somebody else's business to get an idea of how to run a business before you do it on your own, this is by far the best way to do it. If there's one skill set I would tell you to learn as a beginner, it is without a doubt sales. Okay, I would put this in A if it were like an actual business. But again, I think this is absolutely fantastic. A lot of you are like, absolutely not. I hate sales. So obviously this isn't for you, but if you enjoy talking to people, you want to learn, you basically want to get a mentor and get paid by that mentor. This is really the only way you can do that. Okay. Big fan. SMMA. SMMA. This was my first business model. You would think this would probably hold a special place in my heart, but it certainly doesn't. I am not a fan of SMMA. I think it's an extremely washed business model. I don't like it personally. I want to share my story with SMMA. I started in 2019. I had a high school friend of mine who was doing it. He put me on game. I started my business in November, or started learning it in November. By December, I actually started doing outreach to clients. I decided to go after chiropractors, which if you've ever done SMA, you know that is one of the most insanely saturated niches, and it's damn near, probably at this point, completely impossible to break into. But back in 2019, it was relatively unsaturated. So I started actually doing cold outreach in December of 2019, and by February 2020, I was making about $4 to $5K a month with this. It was great at first. I loved it. But as time went on, COVID hit and made it extremely difficult to work with chiropractors. I ended up losing this business in January 2021. I did high ticket sales and then got a sales job between 2021 and 2022, and eventually made my way back to SMA in 2023. This is where my beef with SMA comes in. When I came back into the space in 2023, it had changed a lot. Gone were the days where you could just run Facebook ads for local businesses, get them leads, and they were happy. Now there's so much more involved, which isn't a bad thing, okay? But it's just so much harder for new people to break into it. People were not just generating leads anymore. They were generating the leads and then having an internal team call the leads, set the leads, pre-qualify the leads, and basically do everything up until that person actually showed up at the clinic. For most people, back in my day, all you did was, once you generated the lead and passed on the information to the chiropractic office, your job was done, and they were happy with you as long as you were generating decent leads at a decent cost per lead. My personal beef with SMA comes with the people that it attracts or attracted. I met some fantastic people doing SMA. It was an overall pretty good community, but a lot of the people that people looked up to were total scumbags. I did high ticket sales for an SMA agency right before I got out of the industry completely, and this guy screwed me out of $8,000. He scammed me. He was a total scumbag, and he went on to scam more people, and eventually I'm sure he'll make his way to prison, but for now he's still out doing it. And that was my last straw with SMA. It was so much more difficult back in 2023 to break into. The chiropractic niche back then was impossible, so I actually came back into it with the idea I was going to do chiropractic again, switched to physical therapist, which was a little bit better. But I lost my passion for it, and once I got scammed by the guy I was doing sales for, that was wraps on SMA for me. SMA, the idea of it is actually really great. And by the way, freelance brand scaling is the same thing as SMA. It has been rebranded by Brez Scales. No hate to him. He's actually a genius for doing it because the kid is printing money from his course on freelance brand scaling. But they are the exact same thing. There's no difference between the two. It's just been rebranded by him. So let's go through the 5. Startup cost. They can be low. But if you're just planning on running ads for people and that's it, good luck to you. You're not going to succeed. Time to first dollar, it's going to take you months, 3 to 6 months if you're decent at this, 6 months to a year if you're a brand new beginner in SMA. Skill requirement. You have to be good at running ads, and you have to be good at everything else I said. You have to be good at basically selling for these local businesses because there are companies that are doing that now. And if you can't keep up with them, there's no reason why they would go with you. The other thing with SMA is how you used to go about getting your first couple clients was free trials. Those don't work anymore. They didn't work in 2023 because every local business has been hit up by every 18-year-old wanting to run an SMA agency that's willing to do a free trial to get clients. And people are sick and tired of you people. No offense to you guys that are wanting to do this. I'm happy that you're trying to break in and become an entrepreneur, but you suck at ads, right? Unfortunately, the only way to get better at running ads is to run them. But if you're just sitting there wasting these business owners' money, you're not generating any leads, even if they're not paying you anything, they're just not interested anymore. Now, as a business owner, I get hit up quite a bit for people to run my ads, and I'm not interested at all. I will never take somebody on a free trial because I know what they're doing, and again, respect to you, but I'm not willing to spend thousands of dollars on a if or maybe at this point. Okay, so I think SMA, it was great at first, great business model, but now back in 2023, it completely changed. I don't like where it was going then. And now we're going to 2026. I'm going to put this in the C tier. The only reason is not F tier is because I do still know one or two people doing this and they're quite successful. Back in 2023, I had dozens of online friends who were doing this. Every single one of them has now moved on to something else. A lot of them have gone into info. A lot of them have gone into insurance or door-to-door stuff like that, or just completely different business models entirely. Not a fan of this. I don't think it's a good business model to start in 2026. Extremely saturated. One of the most saturated business models on the planet. And scalability, if you're good, you can scale. It's very hard to do it, but it is possible. I know guys that were able to scale up their agencies very quick, but that was years ago. So good luck. All right. Passive income. Straight to F. If you are a beginner thinking about passive income, you have got to get that garbage out of your head. Passive income is reserved for those people who have hit 7 figures through any of these business models, okay? If you are a beginner thinking about how can I make passive income, you are doomed to fail. Stop it. Get out of that mindset. You don't deserve to make passive income. You have no skills, okay? The whole point of doing any of these is to learn skills and get good at something. Passive income comes later when you've earned it, when you're doing multi 6, 7 figures, and then you have the money to be able to take and place in investments that will make you a decent passive income stream, okay? None of the stuff really on my list goes into this. Startup costs, you need a ton of money to actually make a decent passive income stream. Time to first dollar, years, okay? Because you need to make the money first. Skill requirement, very high skill requirement needed. Competition and saturation, not really relevant. And scalability, not really relevant either, okay? If this were just general business, this would be up here. But again, this is a beginner list. Get this out of your head. This is garbage. You worry about this later, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Next up is influencing. This is not to be confused with affiliate or anything like that. This is, I see my favorite influencer traveling the world and promoting these products and making money off of YouTube AdSense or Instagram or TikTok or whatever. A lot of people see the lifestyle that influencers live and they want to live it. I'm not too terribly opposed to this, actually. Startup cost, just an iPhone, okay? Or any phone. You guys all have cell phones watching this video, so that's great. Time to first dollar, a long time. Depends on how quick you build your following and what niche are you in. What are you making content about? Why are brands going to pay you to promote their product or, or whatever, right? This is just a business that everybody wants to be in, but very few people will make it. Okay, skill requirement, you just have to be entertaining. Okay, for some of you, that's very difficult. For others, that comes very naturally. Competition and saturation, extremely competitive, extremely saturated. Everybody and their mother wants to be an influencer these days. Scalability, there's really nothing to scale. You can just scale your social media following, but that's really it. So this is kind of another one where it's not necessarily a business. You're just kind of part of other people's businesses, and you're not really growing a team or anything. I think it's okay. I'm going to put this one in the B tier. If you have the personality for it and you just are so set, I want to be an influencer, I want to be known for something, whether it's a fitness influencer, a business influencer, comedy like Drewski, right? Something like that, then go for it. I'd say do it, stay consistent, post your content, fuck what anybody else thinks, and you might be able to pull it off, okay? That's all we have to say about it. I think it's okay. I don't think it's the best thing in the world to do, but I don't hate it by any means. Next up, TikTok Shop. This is another one I have personally done. I did it in the beginning of this year of 2025, made a couple grand doing it. I'm just going to straight up S tier. I actually really, really like the idea of TikTok Shop. This is where e-commerce is headed. So think about this. TikTok Shop is kind of the same thing. You remember when you're at your grandma's house and you'd see those commercials come on, they were selling like jewelry and stuff like that. That's basically TikTok Shop now, okay? I know a couple guys doing well over $10,000 a month doing this. My only beef with it is, again, it's not really a business. You're an affiliate for somebody else. But as a beginner, oh my gosh, phenomenal idea. I really, really love this. It's going to teach you the skill of content creation, persuasion, and sales. You have to get good at these things, and those are 3 skills that will absolutely level you up in your entire life. TikTok is such a great platform. You can make a ton of money doing TikTok Shop. Again, I only did it for like 2-3 months, and I made like $3K. So maybe about $1,000 a month as a complete beginner. It helped me with my content. It helped me to learn how to make good content, which obviously I'm still learning, not by any means saying I'm making the best content. I'm still very much working on that. But man, TikTok Shop is great. Startup cost can either be $0 or a couple $100, depends on if you buy a account or not. I wouldn't recommend doing that. I'd recommend scaling an account up to I think it's only 1,000 followers now that you need. This is really easy to do on TikTok. The method I use personally to do this was create an account, use a tool called Opus Clip. There's a podcast I listen to, Real AF by Andy Frisella. Shout out to him. I would give the YouTube link to the Opus Clip software. It would break up 30 clips. I'd post like 10 a day, and eventually made my way to 1,000 followers. And then when I was eligible for TikTok Shop, I did that. I got it, deleted all those videos, and rebranded the account to a TikTok Shop account. Okay, I'd recommend going that route. It's going to take you a little longer, but it's not going to cost you anything but time, which most of you have plenty of. Time to first dollar. As soon as you get that affiliate status, you can make money that day selling a product. What I did is when I got approved, I just went around my house, found things that I had that were on TikTok Shop. I personally had a solar power bank I bought 2 years ago, started making content on that, and that thing printed for me. I did live streams with it, I did videos, and I made a ton of money with it. Probably made $2,000 out of the $3,000 with the solar power bank. What's nice is once you start generating some cash and GMV, I think is what it is. I can't remember. Companies will start reaching out to you because they want to send you their products. So you don't have to buy products to do. At first, you probably will go to Target or Walmart or whatever and just see what's around just to make content on. But companies will eventually be shipping their products directly to you, which is really, really nice. Competition, it's probably a little competitive. It gets more and more competitive as time goes on. But if you're good at making content, you don't have to worry about this. Scalability is nothing really to scale, okay, except the amount of videos that you're making per day. So time for $1 fast. Skill requirement, I think I skipped that one. Yeah, you got to have some skills, but the nice thing is you can have 0 skills, start this, and get skilled more so as you do it. Big fan of this. Now, we have the golden egg of this whole thing. Home service, straight to S tier. If I had an S plus, this would be an S. This is currently my main source of income, the business I've been doing since 2023. If you've seen any of my content before, you know I love home service. Absolute S tier. Let's run through the 5 criteria. Startup cost, very low, between a couple $100 to maybe 1,000. Not any higher than 1,500 for most of the niches within home service. Time to first dollar, extremely fast. You can make money with this very, very quick. I started making money with it the first month I started it. For those who don't know, I own and operate a wallpaper installation business. If you're watching this far in the video, I've got some exciting stuff coming. Don't share it with anybody. I'm starting another home service company and scaling it up to 10K hopefully within the first month of opening. I have an entire YouTube video. I'm documenting the entire process. So you guys are literally going to see how I started a business from absolute scratch, scaled up to 10K a month within home services. You can make money really, really fast doing this. Skill requirement depends on the niche. Any exterior washing niche, or most of them within home services, you actually just don't really need any skill at all. Just go to YouTube, learn the basics of pressure washing or window cleaning, stuff like that, and you can go out the next day and start making money with this. And a niche like mine, wallpaper installation, yeah, you do need some skill. You can't just watch YouTube and learn it. You have to actually go out there and get your hands dirty. This is very easy to do. And the wallpaper installation community is fantastic. Most installers are more than willing to let newbies on their job just to shadow and just kind of get an idea of what this looks like. Competition and saturation. This is probably the best thing about home services. Very low competition. Depends on your area, obviously, and your niche. But compared to all of these other ones, this is going to be the lowest competition and saturation, which is something I absolutely love. More and more people are starting to catch on to this. So it's only going to be like this for probably another like 2 or 3 years. So I would say get into home services as fast as possible if this interests you. Scalability. Oh, so scalable. My business model in wallpaper installation is probably kind of in the middle. It is scalable, but it's not the best. It doesn't have the best scalability potential. But the new one I'm starting, you guys will see that video when it comes out, what that niche is. Insanely scalable. I love, love, love this about home services, okay? If there is one business model I recommend you start, if you want to own your own business and make it a lot of money as fast as possible with the least amount of skill and competition, it's without a doubt home services, guys. I love home services. I'm so glad I found it back in 2023. It has absolutely changed my life. I'm making between $30,000 and $40,000 a month every single month off one business, and it's great. I really, really, really do love home service, especially for beginners. But the nice thing about it is you can do it when you're intermediate to experienced as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, and you can still absolutely print with this. Okay, I just so love home services, and I have plenty of videos on my channel breaking down what niche to get into and why exactly I think it's so great. I talk about this all day long. This is the one you want to be in. Okay, and last but certainly least is crypto trading, straight to F. This is day trading, crypto trading, meme coins. Absolutely stupid idea as a beginner. You have no money coming in. What are you gonna trade for 20 bucks in hopes to make another 20 bucks? This is pathetic. Most people I know that do this are just, they're so in the negative. It's terrible. Anything to do with gambling is awful. This is not a business model by any means at all. So nothing on my list really applies to this. I think it's awful. Now I have to obviously be realistic. As much as I hate this, I can't deny there are people making money with it. Look at TJR, for example. The guy is printing with this. I would argue he's probably making more money from his course now in the coaching niche, but still, the dude, there's no denying the dude's got it, okay? Can you make money by doing this? Absolutely. Should you do it as a beginner? Hell no. I would say do any of these other ones before even looking at this. This is an absolute waste of time. Don't do it. You're only going to lose money. You don't have money to lose as a beginner, okay? Because you don't have any to begin with. Stay well away from this, okay? So basically, these two, passive income and crypto and any sort of trading, you can do them. They're both A's when you have money to spend and when you have money to lose. This is a beginner list. You don't have money to lose right now. You need to make as much money as fast as you can to hit that 10K a month that everybody loves. Everybody raves about the 10K a month. This ain't going to get you there. Please don't do this. The amount of people I have seen lose thousands of dollars that they don't even have is crazy. Stay well away from this, okay? These three, stay away from these. Again, these two, passive income and trading, you can do when you got money. Never do this one. This is so stupid. Please don't do drop shipping, okay? That's the list, all right? TikTok Shop and home services, S tier. If you're going to do any of the business models on this list, do one of these two. If you want an actual real business, do this one. I think AI agencies are great. I think working with local service businesses, especially, but any business to help them implement AI into their business is a massive asset to them, and it's a great skill to learn. High ticket sales and influencing. Again, they're good. It's not going to be life-changing money for a while. High risk, low reward for beginners. I really like coaching, but you don't have any skills to coach people on, most likely. Again, if you do, this is without a doubt an A, possibly even an S. But for most of you, this is going to be a C, not really worth your time. E-commerce and SMA, extremely high saturated business models, going to take you a long time to learn and relatively high startup costs. And then please just never do these, especially this one right here. All right, and that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed and got some value from this. I hope you have a good idea, if you want to make money and start a business in 2026, where to go from somebody who has done a lot of these and is currently doing a couple of them. Now, with home services, guys, if you want to learn exactly how to start and scale your home service company, what niche to pick, how to learn the skill, how to market yourself and get those first couple jobs, how to hire employees and scale the company to where you're not doing anything and you're not doing any of the work, you're just sitting at home working from the computer all day, enjoying life and living it by your own way, I would encourage you to go to my Instagram or click the link down below in the description. My specialty is helping people start and scale their home service companies to $10,000 a month in the next 3 to 6 months. So if you want to learn from someone who's done it, who's still in the trenches doing it, then I invite you to click that first link in the description below. But if not, all good. Either way, my goal here is just to provide value and help you guys live the life of your dreams as I have, and I've accomplished that through doing home service. So if you like this video, make sure to leave a like. Give me a subscription over here on YouTube. Is that how you say that? Give me a subscription. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram. Again, the link will be down in the description. And I will see you guys in 2026.